It's time to say farewell, since Warren Buffett recently verified what I've been saying all along. Hi there, lovely individuals. Greetings, moneymakers. I want to briefly discuss Warren Buffett, his philosophy on markets, and how we may apply his lessons and insights to the cryptocurrency market. I like to switch things up on Saturdays, so this is a little different from what we usually do. On Saturday, I try to add a little bit extra spice since I know that news-wise, Saturday nights are a little bit slow. Since it's always crucial to keep things interesting in a relationship, we like to add a little spice to things. It shouldn't remain stale. Thus, we will be discussing Warren Buffett. We will discuss how we might examine XRP and attempt to consider what we can apply to XRP or more generally in our stock investments or cryptocurrency holdings based on what Warren has taught us. It's also intriguing since, in the last 2 years, he has somewhat changed. After graduating from school, he invested in the book written by Benjamin Graham, who is also his mentor, correct? It's called The Intelligent Investor, I believe, and Warren was a pupil of Benjamin Graham before making some minor adjustments. He was slightly more animated. Technology was not an investment made by Benjamin Graham. Warren did. Additionally, they have certain indicators that they use to evaluate businesses and make purchases, although he's been more active. Furthermore, I believe that the next generation of investors will be even more astute than Warren, since we will have access to resources that he did not. We will have a great deal more information. iTools will enable us to examine businesses much more quickly and make better decisions. What could Warren do then? Or businesses or cryptocurrency. Therefore, I believe that we will have an advantage over that generation and others who can exploit it. We will be ahead of everyone else. There will be many people who will figure out how to use AI for investing, but the most successful will be those who execute it with excellence. All right. And we can apply that to XRP and stocks and cryptocurrency, I don't just talk about one thing, Try to tell you the entire tale, don't you think? Because in my view, investing in only one item while keeping binaries in mind is not the path I want to go. I am a strong believer in diversification. My motto is that that's how I make investments. You are free to do things in a different way if you so choose. As usual, this is not financial advice. Before making an investment, always conduct your own research. I can see how effective Warren has been. I saw how my elders and other people in my life have achieved great success by following Warren's example. Compared to Warren, something is slightly different. Therefore, there are some lessons that we can learn from him. As you may know, if you're new to the channel, I like to occasionally share the thoughts or lessons of someone else, someone I admire with the country. I would like to show you a video from the Berkshire Hathaway conference where Warren discusses a topic. There's always that famous phrase from Warren that I don't currently have in front of me. The most well-known saying, which caused me to pause for a moment, was to be afraid of greedy people and to only be greedy when others are afraid. Correct. It was also unexpected since when the market fell, he didn't spend any of the $347 billion in his war chest. He was questioned about this during the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting, and his response was intriguing. I will tell you about it. I'm not going to tell the entire story, he confirmed. In the description, I'll include a link to it. However, there is a section in the middle of this CNBC film that I would like to draw attention to because it confirms what I have been stating and what I have been flashing down on the table about. We'll listen to it, and he validates what I've been saying. It makes sense to me, even though I didn't anticipate him saying it. Well, with all his experience, it makes sense to him. And that's among the reasons he hasn't been using the funds. He stated that he hasn't had a chance to see all of his indicators yet, but this is what he had to say, and it's really fascinating. There are times when the long-term trend is upward. No one is aware. Furthermore, I'm not sure. Greg is unsure. Ajit is unsure. It's impossible to predict what the market will do tomorrow, next week, or next month. It is impossible to predict what the business will do tomorrow, next week, or next month. But because it's simple to talk about, they talk about it all the time. However, it is worthless. I've never been able to find someone I wanted to talk to about it. On the other hand, I've found that leafing through items like that enormous Japanese book that I can't read anymore, Treasure Quest, that is, and occasionally you discover anything, and sometimes, really sometimes, but it will recur. Not sure when. Next week might be the time. It won't be 50 years off, but it might be 5. We'll be inundated with offers for which, well, we'll be happy to take the money. Additionally, he claims that he does not now see any opportunities. You're going to ask yourself, does he know something after looking at this? Does he believe the markets will not perform well over the next 2, 3, or 4 years? Is this something he's observing? Is he just being really cautious or what? Because he doesn't know, as you just stated, what will happen today, tomorrow, and how will the market respond. And I say this again and again. I had no idea what he would say, but he is essentially repeating what I have been saying for some time. At least this November, as I have no idea what the following day will hold. Correct. And as I keep saying, I will never advise you to purchase Tesla for holding because I have no idea what the future holds. And anyone who assures you that this will undoubtedly occur, and this is going to occur by today, and that will take place, they have no idea what they're discussing since they have no idea what will occur. And in my opinion, anyone who is too self-centered to be certain that something will occur hasn't had enough life experience. Correct. Once more, I've gone through a lot in the last few years. Therefore, I believe I have some knowledge. I wouldn't say knowledge about this, but more of a feeling. Even though I've been correct on the market several times, I have no idea what will happen on a daily or weekly basis. I keep telling you about my still up spidey sense because of this. Correct. It remains up. And Warren, he's been outperforming the NASD Q and outperforming, the growth stocks in 2020, which made people laugh at him. But in the end, he emerged victorious when everything began to go south and his businesses were leading the way. He thus merits our regard, in my opinion. We can learn a lot from him, and he deserves our attention. He isn't extremely pro-crypto, thus I don't agree with what he says. However, I believe that he simply does not belong to that generation. That school does not have him. Correct. As if he wouldn't, perhaps his successor would. Benjamin Graham, his mentor, refused to spend money on technology. Both Warren and Charlie Munger, his business partner, disliked Bitcoin, disliked cryptocurrencies. Warren is not a huge admirer. Perhaps the future generation will support cryptocurrency more. It's time to bid Warren farewell on that. He is still physically present with us. He did, however, declare his intention to resign. He has been the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway for 55 years, and he will be leaving the position by the end of 2025. And the run has been incredible. It is among the world's largest corporations. He is the world's greatest investor, correct? He is deserving of our regard, I guess. Respecting the investors who came before us and those who have achieved success is, in my opinion, essential if we wish to succeed and be wise investors. Correct. And I believe it's critical to honor him and absorb his lessons. And once more,